guys, get back to the cockpit.
Good morning, everybody. This is Roger Thunder with the Red Road. Well, I know what everybody's saying. You can't fool us, Thunder. That video right there is a actual video of a SpaceX rocket that supposedly blew up in space. This is the second one, by the way. But let's just think for a minute here. Let's think outside the box and go on a fantasy trip or a real trip, whichever you prefer. Now, viewing that video, would you say, if you didn't know what that video was, let's say you didn't know what the video was, and there may be many out there that don't follow this stuff. Supposedly it's a SpaceX rocket blowing up and all the debris showing up on re-entry. Got questions about that. Let's suppose for a minute, like I said, that you didn't know what that was and you looked up into the skies and you saw all that stuff coming in. And suppose that you have heard about the possibility of, let's say, a mass alien invasion. What would you think? If you didn't know about rockets and rockets going up into space or weren't following that, and all of a sudden you're sitting on your porch, like some of the voices you can hear in here, like the people that were viewing this and the comments they made, that would be typical of what you might hear if this was a mass alien invasion. Now, how do we know that this isn't a mass alien invasion? I mean, you look at that video and it's like, well, let's check it out. Let's go back here. What does that look like to you people? Well, you got all these people running around saying that there's orbs in the sky. What are these? You got all kinds of videos showing things very, very similar to this. You got orb, little orbs, big orbs, orbs with tails on them. How would you know the difference between some of the orbs that have been spotted in the sky recently and these orbs? You got to wonder about things sometimes. The things that you're seeing in the heavens nowadays. You know what I mean? Let's look at this. This could just as well be, let's say the Star Brothers came in and they were trying to intervene somehow in the affairs of Earth. And let's just tell a little story here. They're trying to intervene in the affairs of Earth, and you got the advanced technology, reverse engineered technology of the planet Earth by the military-industrial complex and the powers to be. And all of a sudden they try to make a futile attempt to defend against the Star Nation, and the Star Nation is shooting them out of the sky. So what you're seeing here is an actual battle, and then you're seeing a huge incursion or a flight in. And look at this stuff. Doesn't it look like it's in formation? Formation flying is what it's called in the aviation community. Flying in formation. it looks like a formation type event. Now, am I saying that this is what's really happening? That's not what I'm saying. Get my drift here. It could be happening. Let's say it did happen. Let's say this is happening. Let's say my hypothetical is happening. How the hell would you know the difference? Are you a space engineer? Are you a scientist? Are you a person that can readily discern what's real and what isn't? Let's say, are you technologically savvy enough to know, hey, that's a rocket just standing on the ground? You don't. You don't have that knowledge. Most people don't have that knowledge, so they just go on what the media says. Oh, Elon Musk shot off a rocket today and it blew up in space. And it's the second rocket in a row that this has happened to. Think outside the box. Elon Musk is this whiz kid that's got thousands and thousands of Starlink satellites in space, has launched numerous rockets. How do you get them up there? Well, 40,000 rockets maybe? And then all of a sudden right now, because we have a lot of anomalous activity going on in the sky, with the drones over New Jersey and the drones over the world and most of the United States, East Coast, West Coast, signs and wonders in the skies, as the Bible would put it. Not that I'm a Bible thumper, it just seems appropriate, that quote. I think that was in Luke. So you got all these things happening in the sky, and what if you were sitting on your porch, like I said before, and saw this occur over your house? You would be going, Jesus, what is going on? Let's say for 1 minute that they wanted to do, the powers to be wanted to do a fake alien invasion. All they'd need to do, according to this, is put up some rockets. You wouldn't need Project Bluebeam and all that good stuff. If this is debris from a rocket blowing up, which I question, the whole narrative, but if this was a debris, wouldn't you just, if you wanted to fake an alien invasion, just shoot 3, 4, 5 rockets up in the air and blow them up all over the earth, or at least all over the United States? And people would be incredulous. They would be incredulous. They would be in they would be in awe. They would be incredulous. Some might even faint. Some people might have a heart attack. If this was done on a massive scale, blow up a bunch of rockets, create a fake situation where it looks like an alien invasion. But like I said before, what if there's a battle going on right now in outer space or in the realms of the earth? What if them saying that a rocket blew up, and again, we don't know that for sure, we have no proof of that. The average man in the street has no proof of that. A rocket blew up and caused this. Well, how do we know that there's not wars going on in the heavens right now? We're just taking people's words for it. How do we know that there isn't a battle going on between the Star Nation and the Earth people, like I said before? You got to wonder about this stuff, people. You can't just take things at face value. Put everything together, you know. You got the supposed drones and the UFO community. Incidentally, they're releasing The Age of Disclosure, that big movie by Farah, I think his name is, at the festival in Texas today, South by Southwest Festival. which has all kinds of guys on there. All you have to do is type in Age of Disclosure trailer on Google, or I'd just put it up here, but I'm already putting up stuff on this video. So you got all kinds of senators and whistleblowers and even Marco Rubio coming right out. It's the premiere is today, so we'll see what happens with that. But there sure is a lot of stuff going on all kinds of levels that I don't readily accept. I don't just say, I don't swallow it. I don't buy it, let's say that. I don't buy everything that's going on right now. All the different whistleblowers, all the different factions, all the different people coming out and saying, I saw this and I did that, and we got this coming up and we got that coming up, and all kinds of UFO guys coming out on all kinds of different channels, and some are good, some are not so good. Then you got the talk of consciousness. You got the talk of consciousness. I'm not making fun of the Indian dialect. I love that. I love it, actually. Everybody's talking about consciousness. Everybody's talking about consciousness. Really, people? I've been doing videos for years on how to raise your consciousness, meditation, kriya meditation, abdominal breathing, the Merkaba meditation, shamanistic meditation, shamanistic practices, shamanistic trances, accessing alternate realities. Been doing videos on it for years, all right? Showing you exact techniques on kriya and certain types of breathing and the whole ball of wax. And now you got all these people talking about consciousness and how you can contact the Star Brothers, the Star Nation, or let's say the consciousness of the non-human intelligence through consciousness, and you're just going to go right out there and do that without any preparation, without any meditation techniques. Are you going to tell me that I've been meditating since 1986 in the most advanced meditation techniques, the most advanced shamanistic techniques that you can even find, hidden knowledge, occult knowledge? Well, anything that is hidden is, the word occult means hidden. So no, it's not scary. It just means that you have to delve deeply, you have to search, you have to be a spiritual seeker. You maybe even have had to take certain psychedelics like peyote or mescaline or psilocybin in conjunction with other modalities to be able to access that particular consciousness that these people are talking about. Like on the Jake Barber thing and Ross Coulthart thing, they got these teams of people that supposedly summoned the Star Nation. Let me tell you something right now. If there are crashed UFOs or egg-like vehicles or anything, it's because they wanted them to be crashed. I heard a theory lately of, well, maybe they just want these things on Earth so that they can do some type of spreading of love or put out some kind of vibe, because people that come near these things feel overwhelmed by some kind of consciousness. Maybe it's a consciousness. You got all this talk about reverse engineering and how we've been doing. If we have reverse engineered anything on this planet, it's only because they allowed it. The Star Nation has allowed it. yeah, let's throw them a bone. Let's throw a little craft down there and have them mess around with this for years and years and years, and let's watch and see how they progress. But if they threw some craft down here like at Roswell or whatever, if that happened, then you better believe that they wanted it to happen. If intelligence is that far advanced where you can fly light years through space, appear in the skies, travel at incredible speeds, Mach 7, Mach 8, Mach 9, Mach 10, thousands and thousands of miles an hour, go across the sky, boom, change radically directions in unheard of ways that a normal flying craft from this earth as we know it, an airplane or even the highest speed airplanes can't do that. Your brains would be against the cockpit windshield. The G's on that are so strong you couldn't survive, so it has to be some form of anti-gravitational situation. Or it just has to be an orb of consciousness that can shapeshift into anything it wants to. It could shapeshift into an airplane, it can shapeshift into a drone, it could shapeshift into a person, it could shapeshift into the person standing right next to you, it could shapeshift into a car, anything with electronics. It could arise right in the awareness in the awareness field that is around us. The etheric soup that is around us could just manifest itself in and out, dimensionally and non-dimensionally. So I'm starting to think that all this ballyhoo, people chasing their tail around and around and around and talking about disclosure and talking about reverse engineering and talking about going after craft that has crashed, and it don't make sense, people. Doesn't make sense at all. Not on the levels that I'm coming from. Consciousness is just awareness. If your eyes are open and you're breathing, you are aware, aren't you? That is called standing as awareness. Once you reach enlightenment, you realize that there's awareness, which is the highest level, then there's the watcher, then there's the thinker, and then there's the experiencer through the senses. You experience through the senses. So you have to jump up. I noticed there's a lot of stuff about the telepathy tapes recently in autistic children, which I think is pretty amazing. Of course, this has been around and people in the know have known this for years. Now, all of a sudden, it's a big deal. Autistic children are savants. They're way beyond what we can even imagine. They can communicate. According to these tapes, they can go to a place called the Hill, which is just a field, an energy field, and they can meet, their minds can meet there. A lot is being revealed through autistic children right now, and I even have a grandson that's autistic, who I love very dearly. And so people are starting to wake up to the fact that, hey man, telepathy might be real. Hey man, higher consciousness might be real. Hey, there's kids in Japan they've done experiments on that can see, they can, the kids are blind, or they put blindfolds on them, or they put heavy-duty goggles that are completely blacked out, and these kids have been trained to see through their skin, just as well as you and I can see. And then you have the autistic children, you have consciousness, as described by yogis and yoginis in several traditions, in the Kaulaspanda Pratibhijna path of Abhinanavagupta, of the Paramahansa Yogananda path with Babaji, You've got yogis that can duplicate their bodies and have them walk down the street. You got yogis that, like Babaji, the supreme avatar, can renew his body at will. Just kick the frame on one and bring in another one with no problem. Immortality. If you delve into Hindu tradition and let's say even ancient Chinese philosophy and meditation, the whole purpose of it is to transcend the physical and go to the spiritual, because the physical really means nothing. But I'm waxing on right now because I'm seeing all this stuff and I'm scratching my head going, why is it that I've been talking about this stuff for years and years and years, and I got maybe 2,000 something subscribers, and I really know what I'm talking about with the consciousness thing, and you got all these people out there babbling on and on and on about, summoning with the consciousness and how you got to get to a certain consciousness and how you got to do this and how you got to do that. It's really kind of irritating to me in a way that I've been beating this drum for 10, 12 years, longer than that. What is with YouTube? What is with, why haven't I been able to get out there a long time ago with this stuff? As long as I've been doing this, I should probably have 100,000, maybe 80,000 subscribers. I see people that come on the internet and been on there like a month and they got 80,000 subscribers. What's going on with that? And I can do every trick in the book. I can read YouTube books about algorithms and this and that, and what kind of thumbnails to have and what kind of titles to put in there and how everything coordinates and on and on and on. Doesn't make a bit of difference. Not one iota. So I got to figure that I have been being suppressed for a reason, because I've been talking about this stuff, aliens and higher consciousness and all this stuff for years and years and years. And I've been meditating and practicing for years and years and years. And I have been doing videos just to get people out there in let's say a higher frequency or a higher level of consciousness, just to help them through life. Has nothing to do with UFOs. Has to do with enlightenment. So you should have been on this channel a long time ago. Would have saved you a whole hell of a lot of time. Sometimes I wonder if it's because I'm indigenous. I have that indigenous thing, or wisdom keeper thing, or shamanistic thing. Maybe the powers to be out there don't want people to really know what's going on. Because I've always told the truth about everything from Jade Helm to COVID and I nailed it before it even happened. So I get a little frustrated, yeah, sometimes I do, because I have my purpose. Now the people that are on this channel, the 2,000 people or 2,500 or whatever, they are a select few that are getting knowledge that nobody else is getting, or even the new ones can go back in my archives and look at what I've done. Just go back in the archives. I've got over 600 videos talking about everything imaginable that you would ever want to know about what's going on the planet, the news of the day. I used to do that, but I always lent a spiritual aspect to it, looking at it or trying to look at it from, let's say, a historical indigenous point of view, or let's say a spiritual point of view, or let's just say a truth-telling point of view. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, like everybody else says, and get some information that is real and not, there are so many people out there on so many different topics, and I continually correlate and infuse and connect the dots on all kinds of levels. I predicted COVID back in 2014. Told you exactly what was going to happen with that. Go back and look, search for it. Start paying attention. And also, while you're at it, you could support this channel as well by going to my Substack link in the descriptions below and getting a paid subscription and getting additional articles and information there. I have a direct and have had for a very, very long time the big reveal. I have a connection to the Star Nation, an intimate one. I've taken rides with them. If you look at some of my past videos, you will see that. I have described it in detail. Oh, it's just a really big deal to even see them. No, I've taken rides with the Star Nation. So, believe it or not, you don't have to. But if you want real intel and what's really going on, don't sit around on your ass all day and cruise all these different channels. All you got to do is come here. I've even offered my latest, and I'm selling quite a few copies of my Merkaba meditation. It's not really mine. It was originally presented by Drunvalo Melchizedek, another shaman, of the sacred geometry of a Merkaba and an orb and how all that stuff works and how you can practice it and how you can eventually create your own space vehicle. So anyway, I kind of lured you in there with this video that I showed of, but just look at that video and just look at it in awe. Can you imagine what, let's say somebody in the Old West, or let's say the Star Nation or the Star Brothers, if they were standing there on a mountain in Monument Valley or anywhere in the Southwest, and they saw a sight like this is not like a shooting star or a meteor entering the earth. Just look at the video and imagine what it would be like if it wasn't the video. And if it wasn't what they're saying, that it's a re-entry of just get the feeling of how that would feel. Oh my God, look at this shit. And then you will realize what is maybe actually happening or could happen on all kinds of levels. Fake alien invasion, real Star Brother incursion, battles in space. Doesn't really matter, because it's all in the consciousness and it's all happening. So anyway, I'll leave it there today. This is Roger Thunder saying Wopila and Aho.